Hey, my terrific Taurus, and welcome to your April general energy reading. This is a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, check out the other signs in your chart if they resonate with you more. If you do like this, however, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. It's free, it's fun, and why not? Otherwise, without further ado, let's jump right in here, shall we? And get some readings for you. Shuffle here a little bit more, make sure we get you counted. This is coming up on April, and this is your April reading, and April is a big month, big changes. I do believe there's a double moon late in the month. I do believe there's an eclipse this month. I think Jupiter is lining up to cause some second chances this month. So things that haven't happened in many years will be happening this month. So should be some serious changes. So if you're feeling some shifts in your energies, that is probably why. So time for big changes, but let's go ahead and get started for you. This top row is indicative of where you are now. Again, do remember that time is fluid in tarot. So this could be where you've been for many, many moons, or it could be just, where you've just recently been. The second row is indicative of where you are going or what you may not see coming throughout this month and even into next. And the bottom row is typically indicative of Spirit's advice to you, or what Spirit would like to tell you. And we'll certainly get clarifiers on these as well. Hopefully you can see these fairly well. We'll go through them a little bit. And also, again, do remember that gender is neutral and this is a general reading, so please do take what resonates. But to start out, we do have your star card. So I do feel like for many of you that you are, you're feeling like you are coming into the month with some strength and power. You're feeling like you are accomplished. So I do feel like for many of you, you're finishing kind of the first quarter, whether it be at work or maybe coming in with a new relationship, something like that, but you're feeling accomplished a bit. You feel like you're surrounded by friends, family, that kind of thing. And that could be too, we're coming up on a holiday, Easter for many of us. And so you have friends and family possibly coming in, coming around, and the star card is certainly a star surrounded by many other stars. So this may just be a very good time for you where you feel like you are kind of surrounded by love. You kind of are giving. You're kind of feeling like you're in your stride right now for a moment, maybe more so than you had been feeling. So I do feel like that's a positive for you. But your second card here is the King of Wands in reverse. Okay, so I feel like for many of you, this may be your own energy as well, where although you're coming in feeling good, you also are feeling like you aren't ready to take on any new opportunities, okay? The King of Wands can be a very strong, dominant, powerful, fiery figure, okay? But with it being a reverse, I feel like maybe you're just burnt. For many of you, the way I'm feeling this, the way I'm seeing this is that I feel like for some of you, you're just spent, okay? You've had it, you're done. You're thrilled to be having, some time to slow down. You're thrilled to have some breaks in the weather possibly coming up. You're thrilled to possibly have, for some of you, a holiday coming up where you're around friends or family, or get-togethers, even if it's just like a cookout or something. But at the same time, you just aren't ready to take on any new challenges. So, if you had work and you finished up first quarter and you did, a bang up job, kudos to you, but you are just so over it. You're not ready to kick it off for the second fiscal quarter, or you're not really ready to, take on any new spring cleaning projects or DIY projects or anything fiery. If you've come out of a relationship and you're feeling pretty strong and healthy about that, if you're single, you're kind of enjoying just being a single, surrounded by friends and family and doing things. You're not looking to jump into a relationship. For a lot of us, the winter is cuffing season. You feel like you get into these obligatory relationships where you have to have somebody because it's like you're stuck inside, it's cold, it sucks, and you feel like you need to be with somebody to kind of like have somebody to do things with because it's so boring. Like, okay, we got to go to the movies, have somebody to go on a date with, whatever. And then springtime comes and you're kind of like, okay, that's over. So I'm moving on. And for a lot of us, a lot of people just in general, you're like, okay, that was fine to hang out with that person, but it was a situationship. It really wasn't anything long-term or anything I really wanted. You both kind of realize that. You kind of are starting to go your separate ways. You're starting to get busy with, maybe your kids' activities or your own activities or getting outdoors more, what have you, or things that are coming. And so you're ready for that break. Okay. You're ready for some me time and you don't really want to jump into anything. And I'm reading that for a lot of you. I feel like that's kind of the case, is that you're ready to just not be, fiery hot involved in any big relationships. And if you're already in a relationship, you're kind of looking for some me time too. Maybe you're just tired of being around the same person. It's almost friction with your spouse or significant other because of so much time together. But I do see Knight of Pentacles here, and this is a slow moving Knight. So, there may be some things with work that you're just finishing up, or it may be some financial things that are on the horizon, and you're just not ready to face that yet. Maybe you're dragging your feet on filing your taxes. Maybe you're just not ready to face that second quarter, work schedule. Maybe you're just not, you're just not ready to hear that news yet to get jumping into, anything financial right now. Opportunities, offers, you're just kind of spent and burnt. I do think that they will be coming for you. Opportunities, offers, financial work, things like that. All that kind of stuff will be coming for you. Information coming in, that kind of stuff, or things that you need to do financially, that will be coming in for you. But I don't think that you're in any big hurry, to jump into that. I feel like right now you just really, really, truly need a break, and you are just enjoying being the star surrounded by loved ones, friends, family, even if it's just like, your dog, your cat, and you're chilling at home. Okay. So I just don't feel like right now you are feeling like you're overly ready to take on anything major. However, let's see what we've got with going forward throughout the month. Okay. So we see movement here with the Chariot. Okay. This is usually a positive movement sign. So for me, I feel like, once you've had your break, this is under your star card. So once you've had your break, once you've felt like you've, sufficiently kind of recouped or recovered from the winter months, the first quarter months, the whatever you've been through, I do feel like you are going to kind of amp up, be ready to kind of take on some new challenges, do some new things. And, that may be where some opportunities do come into play. Again, you may have some opportunities with work, you may have some opportunities with finances, different things like that, that will be presenting themselves very, very soon. Okay. If they have not already, because that's in your top row. But, the question is what will you choose to do with them? Because your second card is the Two of Wands. And I feel like with that being under your King of Wands in reverse, I feel like, you already know about these opportunities. You already know, maybe you've been offered a raise or a project at work. Maybe if you work by yourself, or you're an independent person, or you own your own business, maybe you have a ton of contract offers that are sitting there waiting for you to do the work, or, agree to terms, and you just haven't decided to, negotiate the prices on it or what have you. And so you're going to have to make quite a few decisions on what you want to do, which ones you want to take on, how much you want to charge, those kinds of things. Okay. But I do feel like you're going to be ready, by mid-month to move forward and really go at it. Take those on, use that star quality, and really go back at it. You're just now just very complacent. You just need a break. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Certainly. And it may be spring break for some of you too. And you're just like, I'll deal with that when I get back. I'm totally toast. I'm done with it after the holidays, after spring break, after a time off, then I'll deal with it. But right now I'm not going to price a job out. I'm not going to give a quote. I'm not going to tell them if I'm accepting a job offer. I'm not going to do any of this, nothing. I'm not even looking at it right now until then. But then you're going to have to make those decisions, okay? I do feel like you're going to be in demand though. So I do feel like you're going to have pretty much what you want, limitless possibilities as far as financial. Okay. I feel like, you know, and I do feel like with this Knight of Pentacles being slow moving, I feel like that's you being slow moving, but also they're willing to wait for you because you are a star. They know your worth. Okay. So I do feel like, and that is something that I would say to you is make sure that you price yourself correctly. So if you're an independent contractor, if you're looking for a new job, if they're offering you a raise, make sure you're negotiating yourself well, because do not underprice yourself. You know your worth and you should not accept less. Okay. I'm just going to throw that out there. So when you make your decisions that you're utilizing your time for the best price per second, minute, hour, whatever, because you're worth it. Okay. Now, the last card here we have is the Eight of Swords in reverse. So this is under your Knight of Pentacles. And again, that is just telling me even further that you are not pent up. You are not tied up. You are not being held in any sort of way under the gun, under the pressure, under anything to, you know, make a decision on this finances, to make a decision on what jobs to take. You know, ultimately you are in control. Okay. Nobody's going to be able to pressure you because you can choose, you can pick and choose. Okay. And if you don't want it and you don't like it, there's 10 more that want your services. They want your business. They want you, you know, you are in demand. Let me just say that. I feel like you are in demand. You are ready to move forward and you are in demand. So whatever it is you do it very well. Okay. And people know that, people recognize that, people see that you're a star at it. Whatever you did first quarter, you know, if it was work or whatever you've done in the past quarters, you know, if you do something outdoorsy, you're in high demand right now. Whatever it is, you are in demand, okay? And they know what you're worth. They know how good you are at it. So nobody's pressuring you. You basically have absolute authority, okay, right now to pick and choose what you want and charge what you want. So again, all I can say to you is use it wisely and be careful, you know, with who you're doing the work for, who you're doing the work with, and make sure you are, you know, also loyalty to the ones that have been loyal to you as well. I always like to throw that in there because those are the people that aren't going to do you badly, because these Eights of Swords can easily turn into, you know, 10 of Swords stab in the back at later dates if, you know, you're dealing with people that you don't really trust or know. So again, since you have ultimate control, be careful who you work with. But I think that you already know these things, and I'm just telling you stuff you already know. You wouldn't have these positions and these cards and these authority to just hold people at bay and pick and choose and do what you want if you weren't good at what you do. So good to go. Now down here, Spirit's advice. Let's see what Spirit is telling us about you. So Page of Cups in reverse. Okay. So we're moving forward. Page of Cups, it's immaturity. Okay. The immaturity coming in here is, I feel like this is something that, you know, to be honest with you, I feel like this is somebody you're going to have to deal with. And they're in reverse. So I feel like ultimately they're just going to be a nuisance, a pest. I don't think it's anything that's going to really be something to upset anything, bother anything, be too much. But because it's in reverse and it's under your moving forward card, and because it is under your star card, I feel like what Spirit is doing is just warning you that there is going to be somebody, whether it be a client, whether it be a coworker, whether it be, you know, a family member, whomever. I feel like there's going to be somebody who is going to be immature, that is going to try to annoy you, and they may even make you try to come down to their level. Okay. With it being in reverse, they may even make you try to, you know, act immature, you know, kind of sink to their level. And I think what Spirit is saying is whatever you do, don't even engage. Okay. Don't engage. Don't come to their level, because if you do, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your business. It's going to hurt you. just who you are. You're better than that. Okay. So I do think that that's what this is saying is, they're in reverse. A lot of times I would see that as, instead of being, an immature person, somebody, stick to somebody who's mature, that kind of thing. But for me, intuition wise, I'm feeling like what this is telling me is that Spirit's kind of trying to warn you not to allow somebody to drag you down to their immaturity level, because they're going to test you. They're going to try you. I just feel like they're going to be on, and it could be a customer, if you own your own business, it could be, or you work with customers with your company. It could be a coworker that's just jealous of you, and they're going to try you, tattletaling and this very petty type shit, honestly. Excuse my language, but you get what I'm saying. And it's just going to be, just don't, okay? Don't even engage if you can help from it, okay? And then we have the Knight of Wands, okay? And the Knight of Wands is a fiery, kind of quick moving, exciting knight. So for me, for those of you who are in a single type of situation, I feel like it's very, very possible that there might be somebody that you meet throughout this process, throughout your movement forward, throughout your, if you're moving to a different job, let's say, if you've had job offers on the table with this Knight of Pentacles, if you've had, if you do work by yourself and you are working with clients, customers, those kinds of things, that you might meet somebody who not only can offer you opportunities in business, but also maybe opportunities that are relationship driven. So you might have some interest. They might start out as business, but something that is telling me that they might have a little bit more, you might have a little bit more interest in them than just a business opportunity. Okay. So I feel like, you might start out, they're very professional, but then there's more draw to them than just their professional abilities. So keep your eyes out for something like that, because that is a fiery hot, type of energy. It can be. And I say that with the fact that it is coming in right next to a Knight of Cups. Okay. And a Knight of Cups is, while it's slower moving, it is also a relationship type of news or information, and they are facing opposite ways. Okay. So I feel like what I'm seeing here is that you're going to be, you've got that star quality. Okay. You've got Chariot, move it forward. Okay. You are going to be, once you've relaxed, once you've had your chill time, you're going to be going at it, hitting it hard. Whatever your job is, whatever your work is, whatever your go-to is. Okay. So if you work for yourself, if you work for a company and you deal with external clients, and work, I use the term loosely. Okay. Again, because this could be something where, maybe you're a volunteer. Maybe you are, somebody who does coaching and things like that for your kids' teams, but it's, maybe not super paid, whatever. It could be any of those things, just because it's, Pentacles doesn't mean, that it has to be like a job. But again, you may get some pay for it, what have you, or some, help, assistance, whatever. But whatever it is you're doing, you're in demand. Okay. And you're good at what you do. So again, I feel like you are going to meet quite a few people. They're going to be reading that vibration, reading that high energy talent. They're going to be very interested in you. So you might have a couple different people, opposite sides of the coin here. Okay. Trying to vie for your attention, facing opposite ways. One that's coming in with a lot more pressure, more excitement, more heat, more fire, more attractive to you, more physically and sexually compelling to you, that kind of thing with this Knight of Wands, okay? And then you may have somebody who is, a little bit more stable, calm, reserved, trying to be more relationship wise. They may not, they're falling under your Knight of Pentacles. So again, they could be involved in this work situation as well. This person may not. One of them may be through work. One of them may not. But again, I do feel like these are two different people that are complete opposites that may be vying for your attention. So I do feel like at the end of the month, if you are a single, you are going to be pursued, okay? You won't have a shortage of people who want your attention for job type situations. But at the end of the month or early into next month, I think you are going to have a multitude of love interests as well vying for your attention. So I think the thing here is you really need to ask yourself is, what is going to bring you the most joy in the long run, if that's what you're looking for? Or are you not looking for the long run? Are you looking for something short and sweet and just entertaining for right now? Because like I said, up here, you came out of, a relationship maybe over and you're not looking for anything long-term, or because that was just a short-term fix for the winter season. Now, you've taken your break and now you're okay with moving into something that's more long-term, serious, and of interest to you. And that might be the slower moving, more reserved Knight of Cups than the passion fired, hot, physically attractive Knight of Wands to you, but maybe not as, maybe not as serious or reserved or as long lasting. So let's get some clarifiers on these, shall we? This is the psychic deck, so we'll go ahead and pull some clarifiers here for you. See if we can get some more information on that. But I definitely think you are going to be in demand this whole month. You're going to go from demand from in a work sense to being in demand in a love sense. And, I just feel like decisions will have to be made. Your center card here is decisioning. Decisioning. That's not a word. Making decisions. So, choices. Whoop, we got a jumper. So let's see what we'll use. This one on the star. And it's passion ignited. So, again, I feel like that's kind of the theme here. You're a star, and it's going to be read that you're a star throughout. That energy, that quality for you is going to be igniting passion throughout the entire month. It's going to be igniting passion for people who want you to do jobs for them in a work sense. It's going to ignite passion for people who want to have you in their life as far as in a romantic sense. So I feel like your star quality is going to be exuding. I feel like you are going to be throwing out high frequency vibrations, which tend to attract other high frequency vibrations. You are just feeling good about yourself going into this, or better. And it may just be even the weather. For some people, they just, they come out and spring just makes them feel so much better about themselves that, or better in general, just the weather break, that they feel like a whole new person. I'm kind of like that myself. So, just in that regard, you are throwing out better vibes. But people can read those vibes and they can tell. So how about this King of Wands in reverse? Heartache and loss. Okay. So with this, I don't feel like this is a heartache and loss situation as much for you. Again, like I said, I feel like this is something where you are just done with you need time off. You're done with the relationship. You're not interested in any fiery incoming anything. You were done with whatever. You need a break. Okay. But I do feel like maybe the other person that you had been with, perhaps, again, if you were in one of these cuffing season type relationships, and if you don't know what cuffing season is, it is what the term people use for, you're cuffing yourself to someone else during the cold winter months, just so you have somebody to do stuff with, go places with, spend time chilling inside and watching movies with, because you don't want to be alone all the time in the freezing cold. Okay, so they call it cuffing season. So it's when you get a relationship and then you break up when it gets warm and you can go out and do fun things. So, you know, it may have been nothing to you, and maybe it was to them though. Okay, so maybe when you're like, I'm kind of over this and I don't want anything new, maybe it was a heartache or loss to them. You know, that's possible. But again, I still feel as though, you know, you're not really going through anything where you feel anything major. I feel like for you, you just want to, you know, if anything, you're at a loss of desire to do much. You know, they might be suffering a heartache. You might be suffering a loss of interest. Okay. That's kind of how I'm reading that. So, Knight of Pentacles. So we have Triumph. So I do feel like, again, this is where you start to see offers coming in slowly, or they're coming in fast, but you are looking at them very slowly because you're just not that interested right now. You're like, maybe I'll deal with it after spring break. Maybe I'll deal with it after the holidays. Maybe I'll deal with it later in the month, you know, mid-month or something. But I do feel like you are going to be very triumphant in your endeavors with work or finances or whatever that you are being offered opportunities in, because they're coming in left and right, and you know, you're putting that out there and they're responding. So, you know, whatever it is you do, and I don't care if it's just, you know, you're a stay-at-home mom, you're going to be very, very triumphant in that. You know, people are going to be really recognizing you or your children for, you know, how well a job you're doing. Okay. So whatever it is you do, you are going to be triumphant in it. Okay. So you're moving forward your Chariot here. We've got discontent and boredom. So I think this is part where you are starting to move forward, and that is because you are starting to feel bored. Again, you are a go-getter. You are a star. That's who you are. You are a go-getter. You are a get things done person. Okay. And by putting everything on hold for a while to take a break, you needed the break. You did. You needed it. You didn't just want it. You needed it. But you're starting to get discontent. You're starting to get bored. So this is where you start to amp up. Okay. On the Chariot, you're starting to amp up and move things forward. Okay. You're starting to make decisions, which is your next card, you know, starting to decide, what do I want to do? What jobs do I want to do? What, what teams do I want to take on? What, projects do I want to take on? What fundraisers, what charities, whatever, whatever it may be that you do. So let's see what we've got here. Balance. Okay. So when you're making decisions, you're balancing all this. You're balancing your time, you're balancing your efforts, you're having to balance everything out. And again, you're probably balancing costs, literally. If you do work for yourself, or if you are getting job offers, you're literally doing a balanced budget sheet to decide, which ones do I take? Which ones don't I take? What do I bid on this? What job offer should I take based on this pay versus this much work versus this benefit? You're literally doing balancing sheets. So, that's something to keep in mind. This 8 of Swords in reverse, prosperity begins. Like I said, you are no longer tied up if you ever were. You are free, 100% free, to just really go to town, make whatever you want. You've got jobs coming at you. You've got ultimate control there to decide what you want to make, how much you want to make. If you tell somebody no, or they don't like it and they say, I'm not paying that much, you can move on to something else and have free reign. Prosperity is at your discretion, at your disposal. I don't see any issues with that anywhere in here. Page of Cups in reverse, the waiting game. So again, I feel like this is, I feel like with that, it is somebody that's going to have some immaturity. They're going to try you. And for me, I do feel like Spirit is telling you, just stay clear of it. Try not to engage. So, wait it out if you have to. If somebody wants to keep acting a fool, play the waiting game with them. Okay. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't give them a reaction. Most of the time, bullies just want a reaction. Same thing with these immature people, petty people. If you don't give them a reaction, then they'll quit, right? Okay. So I think just wait it out. And I think that's what Spirit's trying to tell you. There's going to be somebody who's going to try you. They're jealous of you. You know, they see you making all these strides forward, whether it's at work, whether it's at you know, your fundraisers, whether it's, you know, you're getting recognition on whatever it is you do. I don't care if you're a social media person and you're all of a sudden getting much more recognition and they're jealous. You know, they might start making nasty comments about you or this or that. Well, you know what? Just wait them out. Don't engage, okay? Because I just think it's going to be bad. Knight of Wands, intuition, okay? And this is Spirit telling me again, you're going to have to follow your intuition on this because I do feel like you have two people here that are going to be vying for your attention. I truly believe that. And I truly believe that you're going to have to let your intuition be your guide about what it is you want. So if you're wanting something that's just fun and exciting and you are happy to have some arm candy, I feel like this may be your arm candy, hot, fiery. You know, you're just physically drawn to this person. Whereas this one to me, it seems more like a solid, you know, more stable, slower to approach, more considerate in that regard. Maybe not as hot and fiery in your mindset, but more stable, relationship type of person with the cups coming in. So you have to use your intuition and determine what it is you want and how you feel about the person to make a decision. So that's on you, what it is that you're looking for ultimately. Knight of Cups, suffering and silence. So, you know, I do, this tells me that I feel like Spirit is letting me know that perhaps, you know, you aren't ready for a long-term relationship yet, or a serious relationship. And again, we said that kind of up here, that you were kind of just not ready for that. So I don't think within the month of April, you're going to get there. I don't see that. I feel like, and that could change for you. Of course it could if you met the right person, but I feel like your intuition's going to tell you that this is the person for you, the fun person. And I feel like the suffering and silence is not going to be your energy. It's going to be this person's energy. This person may be somebody who is really, really into you. And they are going to be suffering in silence because they don't want you to know how into you they are. They don't want you to know that it hurts them to see you with this person. But I do feel like this is somebody that really cares about you. So you may already know this person and they just present themselves this time as, you know, an option or an opportunity for you to date that they've never done before. But, you know, I do feel like they are going to suffer when they see you with this person, but I do feel like maybe perhaps you just aren't ready. You know, you're balancing your work and your love life, and you've just decided that right now work is of utmost. And of course, again, if you're not even starting to get moving on work till mid-month, you know, you just may not be ready for anything serious relationship wise because you're so busy with work. And that's highly possible. Like I said, we said before up top, you know, that you were coming out of something and you weren't really ready to take on anything. So, you know, by the end of April, you still may not be ready to. But I do think that this person is going to be, you know, someone who really does care about you. And I had that feeling from the jump that they are the more mature, more deeply feeling, more caring, more long-term type of person for you. So when you do decide for a long-term relationship, if that person is still available, that may be somebody you might want to revisit. Just because I really get that feeling that they do really care for you, and you may already know them. But anyway, so not to say that this person is bad at all. I just don't know that they are your long-term answer. They are hot and fiery, and a lot of times when you have the brightest lights burn out the quickest, or candles or whatever. So anyway, let's get 3 quick advice cards to close this out and see what we can get for you, and we will close this out for you. So we have prioritize self-love and care. And again, I think that's what you're doing at the beginning of the month. You're really trying to take your break. And then eventually you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready to go back at it. So you are doing that, and you needed to do that. Like I said, it's not a want, it was a need for you. I could feel that completely. You needed that. So I'm glad that you are doing that. Make sure you do that. Don't jump into anything just because, someone's pressuring you to like, can you get to this job now? Don't do that. You need this break. You are the image maker. What you focus on manifests. Okay. So again, your focus here is unassailable. I mean, I can tell that you are clear at the top, that you are a star, and that you need a break, and then you go hardcore at it. So I feel like you are that person anyway. It's almost overkill to tell you, focus, get drive, because you know what you need to do and you are already killing it. So, just keep at it and rise above it. It's not yours to carry. You are an empath. And again, I think this is more down here. So I think this is saying that, this person suffering in silence, if that's not what you're into, then, leading them down a long road only to break their heart would be a bad idea anyway. So, I think Spirit is just telling you, let them suffer in silence if they have to, if you're not feeling that, because, it would be even crueler to, lead them on. Okay. Also, I think that kind of goes with this waiting game too, because again, coming back at this person, they're an immature person anyway. It's only going to make things worse. So, just let them have their moment and just let them be, because yes, you could outdo them. You could outwit them. You could burn them and turn them or whatever, but, just let them be. It's not even worth your time, effort, or energy. So, and the thing here, if you're a numbers person, we have 1, 1, and 11. And then we have the 3 coming up in 37, 34, 23, 3. So we have a lot of 3s coming up. So we have a lot of 1s and a lot of 3s coming up. So if that means anything to you, do keep that in mind. And I hope to see you back at the end of the week for your weekend into next week energy reading. Bye.